Someone was asking me on one of the earlier videos about doing a review on this tractor. So I've thought about doing that. So I guess I'll sort of start it, and they wanted me to do a walk around, you know, do that kind of review. Well, I don't know if I'll do that. I might do it at the end or some other time when it's not winter or cold, or the tractor's covered in snow and mud and manure. And although that's the way the tractor's supposed to be, because it works every day. I wasn't looking for a Massey Ferguson when I bought this tractor. I was looking. I had a older feed truck with a bale deck with a Duramax engine in it. The Duramax engine and the wiring in the truck was costing me thousands and thousands of dollars. And the worst part about fixing that truck was I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on certified mechanics, and they couldn't fix the truck. They couldn't fix the wiring, and everything on that engine that could go went. I kept thinking that you know, okay, this will be the end, but it was never the end. There was always something else. So and with the truck, it was a 2006, and with the computer and the engine, every time something would go wrong, well, the computer would just shut the engine down, and you're hauling bales on the highway, or you know, all of a sudden you're just dead. So I finally just was getting very tired of that, and it was very expensive. I was feeding with that, and then also a Massey 1135, 1973, two-wheel drive, obviously. So I chain that thing up and use it for corral work or whatever. It's hard to get in with the truck. I thought that truck would sort of last me forever, but it just was either a bit of a lemon or I don't know what, but I finally got tired of it. And then I was also having trouble with the tractor. The tractor was 45 years old or something, you know. So every seal and hose and thing that could possibly leak or break would break if you used it much, and I caught it on fire a couple times. Blow a little hydraulic line, and there was electrical short, and you get a mist of hydraulic oil, it hits a spark, it creates quite a flame. So anyway, decided that I was going to sell both of those and buy one tractor that could sort of do everything. Get a front wheel assist, use it for haying, use it for feeding, and just turn those two units into one newer one that was going to be more reliable. So my plan was to buy a used John Deere 120 horse front wheel assist with a loader and 3-point hitch. I wanted to get a 6-cylinder, but get the smallest horsepower displacement or output in that 6-cylinder. I thought in a used engine, you know, to get the bigger block with the smaller horsepower coming out of it, it would last longer. But what I discovered was that was a really good plan, because everyone else on planet Earth had the same idea. I was looking for something in around the 3,000 hour mark, not to, you know, or under. It didn't really matter too much about age, it was just more of the hours. But you know, as I said, like everyone on Earth is also looking for that tractor. So if you did find one, they were sold instantly. They were also very expensive. I actually went running down to Calgary to a dealer that sent out an email or something that they had one come in on trade. It's a 72 something or other. I forget all the numbers now. But anyway, I went running down there to see it, and it was still in the wash bay, and by the time I got there it was sold. They hadn't washed it off yet. So I found a few private ones, again very expensive. The ones that came up, you know, while I was looking anyway, they weren't well maintained. One of them was from a custom haying operator, and all 4 tires were different brands, and they hadn't changed oil, or you know, they they were just running it. You know, it was. It sat outside all winter, and yeah, it was just like, and you know, the money was insane. So I came across a 7600 series Massey at a dealer. I didn't know anything about Massey, you know, the modern Massey tractors, but I saw that tractor and really liked the way it looked. It looked like, you know, from the drive-by that it was the size that I was looking for, and it was the smallest 7600. Again, I can't remember the model number. 76. Anyway, I don't know. It was 120, 130 horse. Exactly what I was looking for, because it was the smallest horsepower coming out of that 6-cylinder engine. The Sizu 6-cylinder engine, or Sizu, or however you say that, is the best sounding diesel engine I've ever heard. That engine just sounds remarkable. This 4-cylinder is not the best sounding engine I've ever heard. So I was interested in it. It was a leased tractor that had been brought back. It had just over 1,000 hours. So it kind of fit. It was cheaper because it was a Massey and not a John Deere, I guess. But they sold it before I could really even think about it. So I went to a different Massey dealer. That was at an AGCO dealer. There's 2 AGCO dealers in the area. So I went to the one that's a little closer to me and just started inquiring then about other Masseys, and they brought this tractor in from another dealership in their network, trucked it in, you know. They brought it in with no strings, you know. I could look at it, and if I don't like it, that's fine. And so while I was waiting for it to be delivered, I thought, well, if I'm going to look at a 4-cylinder now, maybe I should go look at a Kubota, because they kind of, I think they're kind of the reason that these 4-cylinder tractors started popping up in the area, and a little cheaper tractor, and there seemed to be quite a few Kubotas around. So I went and found a Kubota that pretty much was identical to this one. You couldn't spec the 2 different brands more closely than what those 2 tractors were. And I drove it at the dealership, and I didn't like it from the moment I sat in the cab, which is kind of odd. I mean, I'm coming out of some old clunky tractors, so you'd think you'd like pretty much anything. The tires were cheap, the loader looked light. When I looked on tractor data comparing it to this one, the whole tractor was 2,000 pounds lighter than this tractor, and I wouldn't consider this tractor to be heavy. Didn't like the loader, the joystick. I didn't really like the tractor. I'm sure it would have been fine. It was a little cheaper than this one. It was a year old with about 40 hours. This one was 2 years old with about 40 hours. So they were same horsepower, you know, they were as close as you could get. So it was pretty much one day in the Kubota, and the next day I went to the Massey dealer and sat in this tractor, and it was instant, like, yeah, this is way better. Now that's just the first impressions. I mean, I could be dead wrong. It could be the Kubota is, well, I'm sure the Kubota is fine. I've never heard anything bad about them, and there's lots of them around here now. They're cheaper, so you can see why guys buy them. But that's how I came to the 6615. It was just sort of a roundabout way is how I got here. So that doesn't give you any review of the tractor whatsoever, but that's how it got here anyway. We'll start there. I said it was supposed to stop snowing. It did for a while, and now it's socked in and snowing like crazy again. So we'll just tip these straw bales on their end and let them kind of root around on them. That way they'll find some place to lay down tonight. rotary baled straw and it was really dry, they just kind of explode when they hit the ground. Blew up on me. Well, that's all right. I wanted it to blow up eventually anyway. All right, come here, you. Take that over here. Be able to, well, see if I can manhandle that. Poor man's bale processor.